All righty. Good morning. Good morning. Good good afternoon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and beautiful people of I Am. How's everybody doing on this blessed, amazing, and beautiful day? Hopefully, everybody's having an amazing day. I want to welcome everybody back to Go Live, with your educator, Manny Q. And we are also here with the Market Watch team. Today, we have the full crew here with us. So just want to send out a quick reminder. We are here with Mr. Lee Page, right, all the way from London. We are here with Mr. SM the G, also hailing from London. We are here with Florent, hailing from Germany. We also have from the South, Miss Bridget Graham. And then we also have the infamous Mr. Teacup Lou in the building. You guys want to say good morning to everybody real quick?
What's up, everyone?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So there we go. So we're here, and we're gonna get ready to get this party rocking and rolling today. Let me make sure everything is good. Yes, mic is open. All right, and we're good to go. All right. So yesterday, another interesting, choppy day inside the market. There were some good pairs that made some good moves. GN made good moves off the zones. The yens really played off those highs. GU from that zone worked out really good. So if you guys were able to get into some profits from yesterday, I want you guys to just let me know what pairs that you guys profited on. If you guys took losses, I also want to know what losses. If you guys took any losses, what pairs you guys might have took losses on yesterday. But remember, it has to count where you're officially following the Smart Monix rules with either type 1s, type 2s, or flips at those zones. All right. Now today's Thursday, so today we're going to be getting into it, and we have a few pairs that we're going to be looking at today. Today's also an indices day, so we're going to be taking a look at gold and U30. These are the days where they kind of make some of the larger moves, and we are seeing some really good setups off of those as well. So we're going to check those out. And before I even get into any of that, if we take a look, actually yesterday, I have it here on the scan. If we actually take a look yesterday, we're going to come back to this. But if we take a look yesterday from that gold also, let me see. I don't know where the markup is at. But, oh, yeah, right. No. I don't know. It's not here. I don't know. Maybe it's on my thing. I have no idea. All right, well, we'll figure this out. Oh, here it goes. Right over here, that 1980. We got that V bottom. We got a very small hit from 1980 to the upside. I've seen some people were in profit with that, but that order flow kept going down, wasn't ready. And now we're looking at these extreme lows down here. So we're going to be pretty excited, right? So we're going to come back over to this. We're going to check this out, and we're going to check out a few different pairs over here today. All righty, just to see what is going on. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, UJ played us." Yeah, because UJ didn't pay us, right? We'll be looking at some of the yens today, but not the way that you guys want to see them. So we'll see it. All righty. All right. So let's get started. Let's come over here. Let's come. All righty. All right, so today we're going to be looking at a few core pairs. We're still looking at some of the pounds and euros to be bullish today. So we're going to see. We know they're working the lows. We can see here today we do have some banking holidays. Look, German bank holiday, French bank holiday, Chef bank holiday. So, that's something to consider. We do have some unemployment claims. That's going to hit in about 30 minutes. And then as we're still looking at the DXY, that DXY is still climbing to the high. Really just worked through that other high zone right over here. Really didn't give us the drop off that we was anticipating. Working through that other high zone, and this is kind of like where we're hitting, right now. So we're gonna see what the unemployment claims do for this. Obviously, we see this huge accumulation model on this DXY. I think a lot of people are wondering if this DXY is actually gonna finally fly up, because we are looking at some of the USDs like Chef and some of the other ones, and they're near all-time lows, giving us some big accumulation models. So if those skyrocket, the DXY might skyrocket. And they kept talking about this 107 getting knocked out in 2023. So we're kind of just seeing if this is going to be the case over here. All right. So we're going to see how the news reacts and moves the market. But we're gonna really stick to the pricing. All right. So let's come back on over to the charts. Let's take a look at some of them. And guys, for those of you guys that look at the ends, don't get your hopes too high. It was just a little bit like, we had that 70 pip drop on GJ from the extreme high. Me and the Market Watch team kept trading him. We're like marking them up yesterday as they moved. And, I know some of the older markups stay on the scanner, but you guys always have to remember, don't ever trade off of any zones blind. None of those zones really gave us like proper entries. They all just had a lot of heavy momentum. So if some of you guys are getting in early, just quick reminder, there's two things I want to remind you guys before I get into these charts over here. Is one, Bridget was telling me to notify you guys of this because sometimes I miss out on some of the smaller details. Just remember, if a market is in your zone and it didn't quite activate or turn around, or maybe you got in prematurely and hit your stop loss, it doesn't mean it's a bad zone. A bad zone is a bad zone. A bad zone is when a zone gets violated. So unless the zone was violated, it doesn't mean it's a bad zone, right? It just means that the market is still building up because markets don't move perfectly. So one, you got to keep that in mind. And two, for those of you that are trading, you have to remember, because remember, it's a reflection on our education and a reflection on our team over here. If you're going to be trading the smart money strategy, you have to follow all 3 steps. Remember, step 1 is only 50% of the strategy. So if we ever mark up a zone, and and you're going to trade off a zone, you have to, if you're not going to do step 2 or step 3, you have to swing. Big stop loss and swing off the zone, right? We look to be more specific. So that's why once we come into these zones, we're looking for very specific entry models, QM entries, flip entries, right? SME entries. So you have to follow those entry models if you're going to get in. So if you get in prematurely and you take L's on your account, you have to ask yourself, am I really ready to manage money? Am I really ready to do this long term, right? Every decision that you make is a crucial decision, and you will pay the price for every bad decision that you make, and it will reflect in your account and in your results. So you could be right every time about your analysis, but be wrong about every entry, and that won't matter. It doesn't mean you're a good trader. It means you suck, okay? So you have to work on those entries, guys. All right.
Damn, man, you just hurt my feelings right now, man.
No, I'm sorry, but we have to keep it. We have to be very honest, because like a lot of those pairs that some of these guys are taking L's on yesterday, they never gave us entries. So like I never even thought about entering UJ, and I see everybody's off of the UJ, but I definitely understand, and I just forget to remind everybody of the small things because I'm so used to thinking that everybody already understands like what to do and how to do it. But listen, these markets, man, these markets can be a hero though, Alrighty.
You woke up with violence today in your mind.
Oh, after what happened with me on GJ yesterday, definitely woke up in violence today. I'm coming for it.
He said, because my feelings got hurt because GJ, I'm hurting everybody.
Hurt people, Alrighty, so come on. All right, somebody said GN. Yeah, that GN was fire. That GN was the best one yesterday. Super clean, all the way to the upside. All right, anyway, let me get through these markets. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit of retracement, and then we'll get some of the market moves. So we're coming over here as we're looking at this GBP CAD. This is pretty much like the best zone that we have over here. We have a really nice accumulation zone. We have a high-low break over here, kind of just leaving us open. Okay, 1 second. So we have the zone over here. Now, in terms of volume, I cannot say it's my super favorite zone. It just depends on how you guys look at the volume profile, because I always want to be able to give you guys, like a decent, I want to give you guys like a decent range. So you see the volume is a little bit higher. It dipped a little bit lower, but it's quite okay. So if you're looking over there, you got some volume over there. And we kind of been looking for that GCAD to turn around. So we'll see what happens there. But if we do just take this this one swing from low high, see there's also a little bit of volume build up here. Most volume buildups up here. So I would like to see this. We're going to see how this ends up holding this GBP CAD. And then if we look at GCAD, why does my chart keep resetting? Okay. And then if we look at GCAD over here, so yeah, we're just going to see how GCAD turns. Okay, somebody is messing around with me. Give me a second. All right. Let's get back to GCAD. All right, here we go. And then if we try to take a look at like some of the swings, you can see over here, we're kind of in between that 141 and that 168, but you could also use different zones. So if you use this high low right over here, you see this is kind of giving us like a 1618 right down there. So we just got to see how these fare out over here. So it's not like my super favorite commonality, but we would like to potentially see these back to the upside, you know. So but you do have from this low high, you have this 1618 sitting with a 618 right around that zone with some high volume. So they're not perfectly like overlapped on each other, but we really do have some really good confluence over here. So we're gonna see what ends up happening with the GBP CADs at this low. Alrighty, so as we're taking a look at GCAD over here, you do see we have a little bit of a type 1 over here, bullish engulfing, strong 1 hour, really closing above the bodies. Not much imbalances. So you see this market's pulling back. So for this, I think we're just going to stick to the lower time frame. We're going to wait for the flips on this GBP CADs over here. So 15 minute looks like it's setting up a little bit, and Florent is going to be on the watch out for this over here, depending if we use the wicks or the candle bodies. So you see we're kind of getting a little bit of that market turning around from that bullish engulfing right over here. So as this works its way back down to this POI, you know, we'll see if we can get some new entries over here on this GBP CAD. All right, so that's one thing that we're going to be looking at today on this particular pair. All right, so Florent will be on the checkout for that. Some of the other pairs that we're going to be working on today as well. It was GCAD. I think it was it EU, guys? Was that the other one, right?
That's another one. Yep.
Yep. So we're also here looking at EU. So you see how EU has been working this low. We actually have a nice 1 hour pattern over here, which is nice, right? So we really like that. We've been working towards that low over here. Okay. Yeah, it probably did. Cosmin, you know, we're not hiding anything, but I'm just letting you know. All righty. So let's come over here. Let's look at EU. So if we look at EU at this low, this is the same way for the other for the price model that we had yesterday, where this has been building up liquidity. So you kind of see you have all that liquidity building up. You have that TTL, that trend line liquidity moving back to this low. We still have this imbalance over here. We still have this low sell side liquidity. So the model still looks extremely good as well for this EU. So we start to get these bullish pushes on the pounds. Maybe we'll also start getting these bullish pushes on the euros over here as well. All right, so as we come over here and we look at this low, okay, so we come over here, we look at this low on this 4 hour. We're going to bring this back to the 1. You see, we came nearly flush with our POI. We usually like those whole numbers at 1.0800, but we see we're already getting some wick rejection to the low. So it's showing us that the selling pressure is kind of over here. Long, strong candles moving down to the zone, kind of creating that equal low right down there. And that's usually what we want to see, especially if we want to look for a strong type 2 over here. This would probably give us a really strong type 2 if this opens up on this 1 hour or even on the 15 minute. A lot of consolidation over here, and we like this pattern. So let's actually bring this down a little bit lower for this EU, okay? So let's take a look. We have that equal low at EU. Look, kind of hitting and holding right over there, looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, this does look pretty good. Very similar model. Let's come down to the 5. Okay, let's come down to the 5 here. So I like this EU. I would probably just wait for this EU over here. Okay, I would like to see this EU over here. Let's put this, and lock this. I would like to see this EU break above these highs right over here and potentially give us a little bit of a pullback into this range. So then potentially start going up. So that way we have at least a clean type 2 over here, right? Because we would want to get at least a decent little choke. You see we have a little bit, some breaks to the low. We need some breaks to the high to get that back in because this is accumulating. So we don't want to get induced on this EU. But I like this EU. So if this EU starts giving us a bullish move to the upside, this would give us something to play with over here. Yesterday on EU as well, similar to GU, yesterday on EU, right from this low, if anybody had took that EU on that 1 minute as it pulled back down, you know, there's a little 30 pip run over here for you guys on EU yesterday as well. So we'll check that out, okay? So that's that 15 minute there on EU. Alrighty. Yes, gold, good setup for today. We're going to be checking out gold and US 30. I want to take a look at those. I just wanted, we were looking at a US 30 high, but since it had already moved after the session, we just wanted EU, we want the U30 to set up for a flip. So we're going to be checking those out in just a bit because we obviously can't get in on these runaways right now. All right, so we have GCAD, we have EU, and then we also had, let me see, we could revisit some of the yens, ENGA, those are for later. All right, so we have GCAD, EU. All right, we're also going to take a look at and then Lee Page. I think Lee's going to keep his eyes on this one, on this EU for us over here. Next one that we're going to be looking at is AN. So let's take a look at AN. Over here, where is AN? All right, and we're going to take a look at AN, right? So AN's really been working off this low. We kind of actually provided the zone yesterday to have this AN. Remember we were talking about that 1 hour flip. We had these zones previously been marked up. We were talking about that AN moving to the downside. Remember giving us that 1 hour zone over here on AN, and you see it hit. So this AN's been holding. And now that we're looking at AN down here on this 15 minute, we want to look to potentially re-get into AN. All righty, now AN is already looking pretty good. We're already in that 1 hour kind of double POI, right? We have this break of this low right over here. We have the break of a high. So we do have a nice little choke setting up over here for EU and for AN. So as we get this market to potentially pull back just a little bit, this would be a nice little move that we could probably get into the upside as well. I really like this over here. Let's take a look. We have a bit of an imbalance right over here to fill out, which is looking pretty good, right? That imbalance is also lining up with kind of like this left shoulder. So this could be a choke. And at the same time, if we take a look at that high, it could also double up as a quasi, right? So we could have a QM entry. The choke, the flip entry would be a little bit lower if it would be right back down here in this range. Yeah, let me do this one. If it would be right back down here in this range, but both of these zones are looking pretty good. Let's come here. Why does this look a little bit? Oh, because it's a gray and a gray. All righty. So both of these zones look pretty good. All right. Now Lee SM is gonna be looking at AUD, NZD for us. So far, all three markets are looking pretty good. They're kind of giving us the setups that we want to see for a move today. So these are going to be really good, and they'll be sticking on that. All right. Now, before we go through any other pairs, before we look at any yens, we're going to come over. We're going to look at U30, and we're going to look at gold as well. And then after we look at those pairs, those are going to be the 5 pairs that we're going to market watch today. So we're going to have Bridget and Lou. They're going to look at gold. And then once I go over those analysis, then we'll check back through the yens and we'll check through everything else. Okay. All right. So let's go to, let's save that. Let's make sure that that's saved there. Yeah. Each one of those are looking good, guys. All right, then let's come on over here. So let's take a look at U30. SPX 500 looks like it wants to make a move off that high. SPX might be a better opportunity than U30 in case we already missed that high. So we'll take a look at SPX too. All right, so for U30, let me see. Yeah, all right, yeah, we still need U30 to pull back up before we can enter. So let me just show you guys a little quick on U30, because I do have U30 marked up and gold marked up on my charts over here, but I got to put them on the scanner. For you guys, I kind of wanted the pullback on U30 to come higher because I want to retake U30 down from our highs over here. So we'll see if we get that. Sometimes, you know, these things just run away, and this is such a good zone over there. All right, but anyway, look, if we just take a quick look at U30. Again, you see these highs. I'm just going to keep it simple. We're going to just follow larger order flow. Again, look, you can see right over here, you basically have a big choke moving AU to the downside. So we see here AU wants to move to the downside, right? So we have our high, our low, pushing back to our equal highs right over here, breaking down to that low. And now as AU comes back up and breaks these lows, as the market comes back into these highs and as the highs are breaking these lows, you can see we had two zones over here. We had our extreme and our decisionals. Those are both interesting POI zones. And this was, I think, like 2 weeks ago or something like that, when we were looking at US 30 at those highs. Now we see US 30 came to those highs, very similar model. So we're just looking at the order flow. So right now, higher time frame, that order flow showing us the swing, that swing structure order flow showing us that it's bearish. And then as we start looking at the internal order flow, you can see here it's very similar. We're also breaking those lows, inducing that order flow, showing that we want to bring it to the downside. Also leaving us with additional ranges right over here. These were these additional ranges. And we were also looking at these, which was great. Okay. So we're looking at these ranges, and again, continuing to bring AU to the downside. Now, as we take a look at U30, you see U30 is kind of like holding this low right over here, right? So we see U30 is kind of holding this low, so just generating a little liquidity right over here, holding that low. But now, as we look from this high to this low, because this was the last swing, right? So we're looking at this high to this low because that was the last swing on U30. Okay, and as U30 is coming up over here, let's just come back to the high. As U30 is coming over here, that is leaving us with each of these highs to kind of be the next zones to short off of. So we have these remaining highs over here if U30 comes higher, and then we have these highs right now where U30 is playing off of. Now this is where the market reset yesterday. So this was a really phenomenal area. This U30 is still dropping. Really hope we get this retracement. But so this is where the market close was at yesterday. So let me actually mark up the zone. And this was phenomenal because if we take a look over here, you see that this was that last break of structure right over there. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to mark up these zones. Now I'm going to take, because this is the 1 hour on U30, and it's a lot harder to get LBs on this sometimes. So I'm just going to take that entire wick range from that high, because this is where the market, this is literally where the market peaked out yesterday when the market reset. Okay, after that big run up over there. And I think we were looking a little bit at U30 from these lows. Yes, they had a little purple zone there, but I ended up deleting it. It was a nice little run up. Or not a nice little, but it was a very nice run up. Okay. Now, anyway, look, U30 went back to these highs. Very nice. Came down a little bit. There goes the market reset. Pushed back up. And now we're just getting the hit off of these highs. So it would be nice to see U30 come down. We still have this whole imbalance right down here to fill out. Right. So this would be a good area for U30 to start targeting as U30 continues to climb down. And then as we go down to the 15-minute, and we start just looking at this double order flow to the downside, you can see we have beautiful equal highs, nice positive, negative, positive, exaggerated divergence. And this is the kind of divergence that we want to see whenever we're trying to trade those equal highs or those equal lows. We always need this nice exaggerated divergence over here. It's very, very good. Okay. So we see it came back up in that area. And then as we drop down to the 5, and this literally happened right before you guys got on the session. We was looking at this with the team. We also had some additional regular divergence working these highs over here. And we kind of just got everything to just shift over to the downside. So it was very lovely, very beautiful, just kind of working its way to the downside right now. And I forgot, but we also have a nice harmonic pattern sitting over here as well. So nonetheless, this is a very, very good U30 setup. I would like to potentially see U30 come down. Now, if U30 keeps climbing down, well, this will probably be the time because it's been going inverse from gold. So this will probably be the time that we'll start to get the setup on gold. I'd still like to see gold come lower to 1970. So maybe as U30 starts retracing, and maybe as U30 starts retracing, we'll get this. But we do have gold. We do have news in a few minutes. And right now, gold is working off of this low. We have unemployment claims. So there's a good possibility that gold just might end up, giving us a nice move to the upside right now. So I'm just hoping that we'll get a better low set for gold because I would like to see that entry. And then for U30, we get that U30 potentially push higher to get another entry on U30, right? Because we're not going to be able to get in U30 at this low. All right, so as we're taking a look at US 30, we're going to look at this very last swing over here if we're going to take this to the downside. So there's two things that should stick out for this U30. The first thing that should stick out is that we do have a nice news is about to hit. So just, keep that in mind, guys. We do have a very, very nice choke forming right over here on this 5-minute. You see we have that high and this low getting broken in one clean. Well, whoops, sorry. We got that high and that low being broken right here in one clean swing. Okay, so that's already showing us that this order flow is potentially starting to change. So we'll have, higher time frame, 1 hour, lower time frame, all potentially moving to the downside. And then right now, I'm just trying to see if U30 will give us a reaction off of that zone, or I want to see if we'll get it off of that zone to kind of take that U30 back higher. So that way we can look to get in over here. All righty. So if we go to our fixed range, let me just see where the volume's at. This is where most of the volume's at. So maybe this news is going to hit. Maybe this U30 will pop up. I want to see this U30 come down, but maybe for the news it'll pop up. We're just going to see how this holds because this U30 is bearish. The order flow is bearish. I wouldn't want to trade against the higher time frame trend, but obviously lower time frame you see it's bullish. So there's going to probably be some people right now that are going to try to buy that US 30 up. I'm not going to be one of them, but it looks like a really, really good zone. But I would want to see U30 come a little bit higher to potentially give us a move back to the downside. Okay. All right, 15 seconds to the news hits. Yeah, let's see how that news hits. I would never do US 30 on the news. But yeah, let's see. Probably get that to move up. I feel like that one's going to end up moving up over here. It's not above the 4 just yet. If it was a little bit above the 4, then maybe, but we'll see. All right. Let's see. Was there any effect? Oof. There we go. That gold moved down.
Yeah, GCAT moving to the flip.
All right. That's good. That's good. That's good. All righty. So let me come over.
Yeah, GCAT is in the flip.
GCAT's in the flip. All right. So let's take a look at that.
It just touched it.
Alrighty, let's come back over to GCAD. Let me. Damn, so I think this U30 has a delay, but I think this U30 is probably going to move up if gold had that big move down. So we'll see. Let me come over here. So let's hit that GCAD. Boom. Alrighty, so GCAD is in this flip. Let me see this go down to this 1. Alrighty, so we could do one of two things right over here. This technically is already an entry model, so this will be a buy market order over here for this flip, but only because that news just released, I would like for this momentum to slow down. I hate that each time these markets have been coming to our POIs, they've been happening while news has been hitting. So I would actually like to see this this slow down a little bit, because I don't know if you guys remember what happened. I think it was yesterday. Once that news hit, the market just kept going. And I don't
It's
want.
also worth noting that EuroCAD is pushing down quite strong, and EuroCAD and GCAD correlate quite close.
Okay, so yeah, so we're just gonna have to let that hold on. Let me come over here. We're gonna need that gold. This is the best setup that I liked on gold so far. Was at these lows. Literally the best zone that we could get in, if we would get a decent move. But I don't know, with this news now hitting and pushing them to our zone, I need these to hold. Let me come over here to the news. Unemployment claims came out positive for the dollar, which is good. So that dollar wants to keep climbing. So if that dollar keeps climbing and it breaks through that, we'll probably get the oh man, probably get that. Yeah, that gold probably keep coming down. So we're gonna have to hold off on that gold. This gold's just been continuously dropping. All right, if it violates the zone, then that's that. All right, let's come over here. And guys, let's wait for this this GCAD over here, and even for the other ones. Oh yeah, Lee's happy. His GU and eChef is running. Okay, so yeah, so let's hold off on these. These are gonna have to slow down now. At these zones, man, these markets have been extra lately. And it'll be the same thing for EU. These keep going up. These EUs are going to keep dropping over here. And that's why we want to see those breaks and moves to the upside. Okay. This is a little bit of a pickle, because we needed this to drop.
Did you want to look at the S&P 500 real quick?
We're gonna have to take a look at that. I needed this. We needed this DXY to move against that zone to get these moves that we wanted. Because I'm not a breakout trader, so I'm not gonna trade momentum to the downside. All right, let's come back over here. Yeah, gold's out the picture.
Yep. And it was 30.
Non-stop. Look at that, non-stop with this gold. It's really amazing. And then U30, even U30, they want to move together today, huh?
Gold might fake out though.
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens with that. I'm just upset that that we couldn't get everybody in off of this high before the session started, because this is
Gold
really...
might take some stop losses and then bounce up. I don't know why I have that feeling. I could be wrong. I'm saying I just feel like gold, because it hasn't. Because I remember last time when news came out positive for the dollar, we was in a bearish, and then all of a sudden it just went the opposite. But the news was positive for the dollar, so I don't know. It's been weird.
This whole DXY has been weird, bro. Nothing. It's like what Lee said. They just been freaking. It's just a blender now. What did you call it? A grater? A grinder?
A meat grinder.
A meat grinder. Yeah, this DXY has been a meat grinder lately. Alrighty, so let's see here. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna have to reverse for that to happen. I'm glad U30 is coming down, but I really wanted to get everybody in for this U30. Want that to come a little bit higher. All right. So EU, we're gonna have to hold that. Now let me see. So it was EU. It was GCAD.
So we're not taking GCAD.
I mean, if GCAD gives us, I just feel funny, man, trading with this news like this. I just don't like it, bro.
We don't have to make the trade.
Yeah. I mean, if people are willing to do a 0.5% risk on these, because these are set up the way that we want them to be set up. You know what I mean? It's not like they're really, really good setup. These are all good setups. I just don't want to get faked out from this news, and I don't want to start feeling anything because of the news. I don't want the news to impair, my judgment ability. You guys know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll just wait over here. We'll see what happens. But let's see if we were to swing GCAD. So anybody here that wants to take those, again, guys, just be a little bit more careful. This market this week has been like stupid. Seriously. It's been seriously such a stupid week in the market. Let me see. Yeah, I would do a 1 to 3, 20, 60. Pretty much coming back to these highs. That's a decent little pullback. It's probably what I'd be looking for on GCAD at the bare minimum. If that GCAD keeps going up, because that GCAD looks like it wants to start turning up over here. So that's that GCAD. And then what about EU? These EUs, are they going to do the same thing over here with these? Let me see. All right. Yeah, because EU is well, EU is lower. I want the EU to break higher. And then AN, what's happening with AN, SM? Let me see. Okay, and AM's just still moving. Didn't even get to come back to our zone here. Alrighty. Alright. And then let's take a look one more time. Oh, look. Yeah, Bridget, I'm so sorry. You told me to look back at
S&P.
Oh man. We have let me see over here. This was set up a little bit better than U30, but coming off the high, it would almost been the same exact thing. I wouldn't have traded off of these lows for this SPX 5. I wouldn't have traded because we would have been in the middle of the move. Yeah, look, right over here when that news hit. And I wouldn't have done that. Okay, man, when they want to keep somebody out the market, they keep them out, huh? Okay. All right, so we have that. We have U30. Let me see what's happening with this. Let me see. Oh, man. U30. Let's take a look at gold. And oil, yeah, I was feeling weird about the oil. Let's come back over to the gold.
GCAD holding that support though.
Yeah, ECAD's holding. And that gold's still going.
The yens are gone as well. I was going to sneak a little buy on the yens. Oh, AJ, but it's gone.
What, they're dropping off those highs?
No, they're going up.
Yeah,
more.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because all those yens want to go higher. Okay. Yeah, and the ECAD's already breaking through that low down here. Kind of had like that little extension low. And want it to come a little bit lower. There's a 40 pip move off that extension low. Man, this is back to back this week, huh? Alrighty. All right, let me take a look at the chat. Let me see how everybody's feeling. Time said news ruined everything. You just want to break out. Yeah, so for these yens were playing the highs yesterday. GJ was really like the best one. But all these yens, you know, obviously if we look at them on a larger time frame, that's why, again, trading these yens, you know, they were the third, fourth hits. That's why we needed to be very careful off of those yens.
Manny, see, look at GJ. I told you we made that flag. That bullish flag, and now look, it broke the pattern. Now it's going back. It's going up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we wanted, and it was crazy because we didn't get to tell everybody on Go Live yesterday because then we started looking at the yens right over here, the GJ. That's why I took the GJ right before the market flip, and then that freaking 50 pip spread canceled me out, but yeah, it was a nice 70 pip drop over here. But yeah, these order flows are still bullish. because all these yens, they do want to climb higher. So I just don't feel comfortable with the yens right now. Now if GJ is going up, so GCAD's still going up from this low. No, GCAD's messing around over here. Let me check the chat. It's dropping some more. NJ, NAS 100, GCAD, yeah. EJ stop loss, GCAD. News, AN's running away. Yeah, the AN's going.
Damn, I can't believe I got out of it early today, that AM.
Using the AN buy?
Let me tell you, it came down to my buy limit that I had like 2 days ago that I forgot. And I woke up and I was up. And I said, you know what? It looks like it's not going to break the zone. Let me just get out with some profits. And it's broken that zone. And my entry was 60.86 on AN. So basically at the bottom. Yeah, at my inverted teacup I got in. Damn, this is what I get, man. It's crazy how we can hold trades that we're negative, but we can't hold trades that's positive.
Now, you know what it is, Lou? I just think, I think lately everybody's doing the best that they can. And, you know, I don't know about other educators because I don't watch other educators' sessions. So I don't know how other educators are performing. But I feel personally, for me, like these markets been a little bit crazy. And it's just been very consistently, like, just it's been a lot tougher. I think even SM was saying it's just been a lot tougher to trade lately than what it usually is. And if you think about it, like think about what they've been doing. Every time that they've been moving these markets, they keep moving them during the market reset when nobody's getting in during a 20, 30, 40, 50 pip spread. You know what I mean? Zones are getting induced like crazy. Liquidity is getting grabbed like crazy. It really is. So right now, this is like a season where everybody's just kind of like trend trading, just really lower time frame, just kind of sticking to the trends.
I had somebody that trades options. He's in Wall Street. He told me right now is the season to take profits and not hold your trades. If you're in profit, take them. He told me this is not the season right now. This guy been trading for like 13 years. You know, he trades for a hedge fund, and he told me this is the season not to hold trades.
Well, are we going into June, April, May, June? So the two worst months for investors to trade are June and I think it's September, or June and December. They're 2 months, but I know June, and we're coming into June. We're not at June yet. But they say that those are the two worst months. And I think I was reading up on some firms that were saying that they do not trade at all during two specific months. And I never dove deep and understood why, but we'll see. Let me come over here.
Because, there's going to be a time where everything gets back to normal and gold and US 30 run together. Right now they're running opposite, but there's going to be a time when they get back to normal and start running how they're supposed to be running together.
Yeah, that's another thing. The correlated pairs are off. The index with everything else is off. We was actually talking about that last month. Hold on, I'm trying to look at my MT4 right now. We were talking about that last month, and I was telling everybody, because we had two more bank collapses that happened, and then Chase just took over First Republic, acquired all their banks. So they've been collapsing banks. They've been doing a lot because they're really trying to get this money control. They're really trying to control the money and the loans that they're giving out to people, because loan rates, house rates are at an all-time high. And then, they're already working for the central bank digital currency. That's already enacted. It's not even like it's gonna. It's already signed into law. The CBDC, the central bank digital currency. So it's only a matter of years before they take all the money, they convert it to all digital within the banks. And I think that's why these markets are going crazy. Then you have the BRIC, they're coming against the US dollar. They're bro, it's Like if you look at the world right now, it is legitimately changing. And we were seeing it. And that's what I was saying a few weeks ago. Once we noticed the dollar wasn't correlating, it literally messed up our flow because we were doing like, I know you weren't trading with us at that time, but we were like, we were hitting like 85, 90% accurate on our week after week after week for like 5-6 months in a row. Once we noticed it was 2 weeks in a row, I started taking some losses. And we noticed that the dollar index stopped correlating. And I was telling everybody, and I know you guys remember the Market Watch team. I was like, I said, I have a feeling the underlying mechanics of the markets are changing. How we're used to seeing pairs correlated, the DXY, all these things correlate, they're going to change. And look, if we notice weeks later, they've been changing more and more and more and more and more and more. It's been harder to read the news. And I personally think so many people are becoming so successful at trading now, and they know that, and they don't want people to win. They try to cut out trading from America by cutting off MT4 with some BS policy nonsense. And then once they couldn't stop traders from doing that, they started attacking all the mechanics and all the ways that people knew how to trade they're changing right now too, because there's other good traders that I know that got big. I'm talking about $2-3 million accounts. And they're even going a little, sideways. So everybody's just being a little, so we just got to be careful, take these small profits, do what we got to do, the best that we can. But this is definitely a season we got to be more specific.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, trading is already hard, and when they're trying to rig it, it's even harder.
Oh my God. And then if it's not the broker, it's the liquidity provider.
Yeah.
It's
nuts.
This is one thing I say. I've been trading for 7 years now. We started trading together, Manny, and it's a nonstop learning. It's not like you're never gonna really say I've mastered the markets. It's like you just constantly have to learn, adjust to the markets. So a lot of people think that you come here for 2-3 months and you're gonna be able to live off this. No, it doesn't work like that. This is really, you have to really be dedicated to this craft to really be successful in it. It's not going to happen like overnight. It's years of this.
That's a fact. Look what some people are saying. They're saying words from some bigwig investors that there's going to be a big melt up before a devastating market crash. And I actually heard the same exact thing as well for Bitcoin. I heard that they're going to take Bitcoin up. They're going to try to get everybody into Bitcoin. They're going to drive Bitcoin all the way up once everybody's in, and then they're going to hyper crash that market and just make everybody broke, which is crazy. And then somebody else is saying that they want to create hyperinflation, make cash worthless. They go over to CDBs, and then cash is the only freedom that we have left, but the CDC won't work. Yes, exactly. Yup, Dembski, for sure. You hit it on the head. And we're literally witnessing all that right now, And I'm not going to sit here and be like, whatever. If I suck at trading, I suck at trading. But I know I don't suck at trading. You know what I mean? But it's like, damn, these markets, they doing the most right now.
Interesting times we're in.
Bro, this world is going to bro. All right, so let me see with GCAT. I mean, GCAT's still in the zone. We're going to see what happens with this. We're going to have to see what happens with this. This is going to probably need a bigger setup for this. Yeah, this is going to keep coming up. And see, the problem with me now is that the way I trade, because, I'm a confirmation trader. So if this is breaking out to the upside and that momentum keeps running, everything else is in a pullback. You know what I mean? So I need to see this reverse to get into something else. I'm just wondering if I should try to test my luck with GCAT. I just don't know how I feel about all this.
Yeah, me personally, I'm going to stay out of GCAT.
Right? That's how I feel too.
Yeah, I just don't like the 5-minute body chokes.
I don't like it at all. US, we were talking about that this morning before we got on the session. It was U30, man. I wanted to get in that U30 high that was so clean. Look, 6:02 a.m. my time. We got together at 6, and this thing has just been dropping off that high, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Yeah, man. This was it. This was it. This was it,
He was
man.
also calling this junk. But
That's the US. That's the one I really wanted today, man. And this gold. I don't even trust gold anymore. They just trying to take gold. They trying to take gold so far away from this multi-year high. It's not even funny because you know how many people after all the banks collapsed, a lot of people started moving their assets in gold. It was like a big thing that was happening online. Gold ran up, hit that multi-year high. Everybody put their money in gold, and they're just melting gold now. And they're just deappreciating everybody's money that put their money in commodities after the bank crashes. And this started after the Silicon Valley bank collapse. I don't know if you guys remember that they moved it up to that multi-year high, and then they just been deappreciating it since.
Hey Manny, what do you think about the Fed now situation?
Well, what do you think about it?
I don't know. It's like people are afraid. They're thinking like the just having a digital dollar and having to go over to that. They're a little afraid. A lot.
Yeah, that's the CBDC, central bank digital currency.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody should be extremely afraid of that, and they're not talking about it. They've been hiding it, but as I've been looking at it, not only are they going to control all of your money. I'm just going to keep looking through this market for now. Not only are they going to control all of our money, but they're going to put expirations on our money as well, and that's the scary part. You know what I mean?
Right.
That they're going to put that.
What you mean? They're going to put what you said?
They're going to put an expiration on your digital money, and it's already written in the CBDC, the Fed now situation. So there's two big things that are happening. So once all your money and it's not a matter, all your money is going to get converted, and that's why all these bank collapses are happening, because the major banks, the conglomerate banks, because how the structure works. If you look at the banking system, right, it's the same thing as the major corporations. You know, there's corporations owned by corporations, owned by corporations that's owned by corporations, and the big corporation at the top is called Vanguard. So the Vanguard is the big corporation, and under Vanguard they have BlackRock. So those are the two big corporations. Now, the CEO of BlackRock is Larry Flint, right? So he's a part of the World Economic Forum, which is the WEF, and then these are the people that are pushing all these agendas through with the entire world. So all this war between countries, all this shit is all fake. You know what I mean? Because all the world leaders sit together. So all this is super fake. But anyway, if you look at Vanguard, I shouldn't say fake. It's like controlled. It's manipulated. So Vanguard is the one corporation, and they own every corporation. And if you look at them, we're talking about the food you eat, the clothes you drive, the cars you drive, every single thing in your house that's owned. If it's not purchased and manufactured from a private company, pretty much 99% of everything you own is owned by Vanguard. This is where all the money flows in the world, and you can follow that through the stock market. So the banking system works kind of the same. The banks are owned by banks that are owned by banks. So there's a conglomerate of banks that own everything. And these banks, they want to be able to have all the money. So when you look at some private banks, right, what they're doing is they're driving up these inflation, they're driving up these policies, they're doing all this. So all these people are reneging on these loans. And then what happens is once these private banks over here, once they can't hold, once they basically can't keep up, they have to sell off shares. And if they sell off 51% or more of their shares to one of these conglomerate banks, because they're saying, hey, listen, we have the capital, we have the money to back you up. That way you don't go out of business. So then they own them. And once they own them, they get grouped into the conglomerate. And then if they can't do that, crazy stuff's happen. They collapse the bank, they buy out the bank, and things like that happen. So eventually these banks, they want to get a total global conglomerate where all of the big major banks own 100% of all the money in the world, no more private banks. And then without you even knowing, because the Fed now, the CBDC is already enacted, what's going to happen is one day you're going to wake up and all of your cash, I don't know the exact date, but all of your cash is literally going to become cryptocurrency immediately. It's all going to be digital. Now, once it's digital, what they're saying is that they're going to put an expiration, literally, like they're going to put a time expiration. So if I'm trying to make a little alarm clock over here, but they're literally going to put an expiration on your money. And if you don't spend your money within a certain time, your money is going to get expired. So it's going to be impossible to save. So that's the first thing that they're doing. And then the second thing that they want to do, the second act, and this is going to be after 2030. So 2030, I think from 2030 to 2040 or 2050, what they want to do from then is they're going to collapse the market. They want everybody to liquidate their assets, and then they want to get everybody into renting. And they're already pushing out campaigns right now where they're renting. So there's a commercial that came out from the WEF, and it's like this AI robot, and I think it's a girl, but I'm pretty sure it's an AI robot. And she's saying, she goes, I own nothing, but I'm the happiest that I've ever been in my life. So they already have a commercial for that. So she's like, I don't own my clothes. I don't own my car. I don't own my house. I don't own nothing. And because I don't have to own it and I don't have to pay for it, well, not that I don't have to pay for it, but because I don't own it, I don't have to worry. So she basically saying, listen, I got my job. My job basically provides for all my living. And I'm just a super happy person and I don't have to worry about nothing. So they're literally creating robots, like working slaves, and they want to remove all the wealth accumulation. Bro, I mean, they're literally trying to destroy, like, you're either going to be super rich or you're going to be broke or you're just going to be working broke. Like, they're trying to abolish the middle. And right now, I really think that's why they're putting such a huge attack on the traders. Right now, there's just a huge attack on the traders because right now, digital entrepreneurs are making so much money. Right now, it's crazy. Why do you think that they abolished? Why do you think they abolished non-competes? What do you think by abolishing non-compete agreements? So if you have, let's say you have a private company, you make these fire cookies. You got these super fire cookies. You have a proprietary agreement on these fire cookies. What ends up happening? This is what always happens. Everybody's coming to this company because this company is the only company that got the formula to make those cookies. Now that the non-competes are in, they're saying, oh, non-competes, it creates more economy. Like it's economically stimulating for entrepreneurs because everybody can go make some money now. And now these companies, they don't have to, they won't hold on to everything. So now, this company got, let's say 6-7 employees right over there. They all know the formula. Now they're like, you know what? Forget working for the man. I'm going to go start up 7 companies. Now you got 7 companies selling the same cookies. And eventually what happened? It ends up getting diluted. People don't know about it. They might make a couple of dollars and boom, all this money was evaporated and dispersed between a bunch of people. And then what happens? Another cookie company comes along. It's like trends. Another cookie company comes along. This is the best cookie. This becomes aged out. New cookie comes in. And then it's like just a vicious cycle. And then the money just keeps getting dispersed and melted out. So there's a huge attack. So they're trying to say that they want to stimulate entrepreneurs. But right now they want to attack the entrepreneurs because we're called the new money. You got so many people that got so much money that's not supposed to have money, that's in circles, places that people don't want them to be. And, they want to wipe us out. And I think this war on trading has a lot to do with us as well, because traders are making way more money now. You got from funded prop firms, people getting access to $200, $300, $400, $500 million in capital, learning strategies, people following each other. You know how many people are making money with trading right now? It's ridiculous. You think they want this? They don't want this. They don't want that. You know what I'm saying? But somebody said, "What did I just walk into?" You just walked into news. Nah, bro, it's nuts, bro. This thing is nuts. All right. I talk a lot. My bad.
No, good information though. It's good information.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know about the Fed that
Yeah, because a lot of people just trade. They don't even know what's behind it. I'm just trading, but they don't really know the nuances of trading or what really makes things move or how things will be affected by the things that really go on in the world. They just look at a chart and just trade and don't really understand the logistics behind it.
Mm-hmm. That is 100% a fact.
Because let me ask you a question. Like, so many people trade, right? But not everybody's successful trading. Let's be honest. You know how many people trade?
Mm-hmm.
And how many people are successful trading?
Whatever percent it is, I know that they come in for those people.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, bro, there's some people like take us for example. When we were like 6-7 months nonstop, crazy accurate rate. I mean, we sneezed and TPs were hit. You know what I mean? It was that fire. Think about it. We have 1,000 people that's getting on the session, and you have 1,000 people who are still learning how to trade, and 1,000 people for 6 months in a row are managing $400,000 or $500,000 accounts, doing 20, 30, 40, 50 lot sizes, or 100, whatever they could put on that, doing those lot sizes for 6 months in a row. Think about how much money they've been winning. They don't, banks don't, they don't want that. They don't want that. So somebody was saying that smart money is becoming the new retail trading.
Oh, wow.
When I
heard that.
when I heard that, I was like, you got to be kidding me, because it makes so much sense. You know what I mean? The only thing that ever really held in the market was volume. I mean, volume profile. Again, I'm not disrespecting. I love smart money trading. It makes trading more specific. You get to be more accurate. So I would never say anything, because I love the smart money trading concept. But smart money trading the terms was changed, and it was flipped upside down from supply and demand trading. And supply and demand trading came from volume trading. And this all goes back to the original OGs that were trading on the market. So it still stems all the way back to that. And I think they're just, those rules, they can't break at all. So I think the mechanics are just changing a little bit about how the markets are moving to and from some of those zones. So that's why we got to be more accurate. We got to be more diligent. We got to be more specific. We got to be able to take profits. Lately, I've been finding myself taking profits I'm getting into trades, taking profits in 10 pips instead of doing 50, 60, 70 pip runs. I'm like, yo, I got 10 pips. I don't even know if this thing is going to keep going. That's how I've been feeling the last two weeks now,
US 30 just dumped.
Bro, US 30's been dumping, bro. So upset we're not in this thing, man.
Yo, Manny.
Yo.
You still haven't uploaded the PDF for Ignite?
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to do that on the session. Listen, for the person that keeps asking about the Ignite PDF, the Market Watch team don't help me. Right as soon as the market's over, we're here trading 3 hours. They don't bring up that PDF not once. And y'all expect me to remember?
Yeah, that's a good thing I did.
Where's the reminder?
Oh, yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, that's fun.
Nah, yo, listen, forget it. We already here. We're just gonna go all the way. So for the people that's on Go Live, I gotta tell you, sometimes we're talking and we're just like, Go Live hates Manny right now. Manny said to sell here on Go Live, but Manny's actually selling all the way over here. They hate you on Go Live. Oh man. Now I'm super upset. This is another day in a row that I'm missing such a great trade. I want this US 30 so bad. Lee, man, you're gonna have to pull you Lee and Florian, you're gonna have to pull that magic system out the hat, man. And was there any entries on your magical systems on this 1 minute on U30?
There was one at 8:30, but it's like a pullback it was one at 8:30 and a small one at 8:45 or 8:47, but it wasn't anything major. It wasn't like you would have liked it.
All right there, yeah. That little break out the low, that could have been a little something.
Yeah, look at Lee page.
Where's Lee's at? Let me see. I see you, Lee. I see you.
Yeah, I got the same. Look, I'm gonna show you.
Oh man.
This one right here.
No, that was nice.
That's it. That's the same one. Yep.
That's good stuff. Hold on, I'm gonna show the Go Live family y'all charts. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. See that right there? Boom. Boom. See that right there? We're cooking up something nice for you guys. Look at that. Look at that one little 1 minute scalp to the downside. on that U30. As we couldn't get
Yeah,
off the
this one
high.
looking nice.
Because we're working right now on, just so everybody knows on Go Live, we're just trying to work on a system to get us in scalping on lower time frames. Once a higher time frame move hits, like perfect example today, we had U30 at the high. We got on Go Live an hour late. You know what I mean? So we couldn't give you this high hit over here. So the next best thing we needed to wait was for that to pull back. And because it didn't, and we get a little scalp over here, those are the next best entries. So that's why we're trying to perfect something for you guys as well.
Let me actually take a look at gold.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep looking at the charts now. I mean, it's already 8:07. I don't really got much for today because this already happened. And I was going to sneak into that U30 too. I was like, but I was like, you know what? Let me not do it. Let me not be risky after how that market played me on that spread yesterday with GJ.
Yeah, you've been doing that sometimes though.
Yeah.
You'd be like, hey, yo, look at this. And you'd be like, oh, y'all already snuck in.
But I didn't want to do that today because I'm literally on Go Live. So if I had snuck in US 30, I wouldn't even be talking. I would have just been going, looking at my MT4. All right, so let me just give a quick look. So GCAD was kind of like the best setup that we had off this low. You know, look, we are getting some FTCs at that 1 minute flip down there. So market's moving just a little bit. I still don't know how I feel about this GCAD. I prefer to set up on a higher time frame. This is really what we wanted, so I'm not saying anything. This is kind of like what we wanted. Wasn't the most ideal zone, so I would probably just wait. Now that this market structure reset, I would most likely just wait for a higher time frame flip on this over here. This is going to be so much movement by the time this turns around now on that GCAD, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Let me see what's happening with this dollar. This dollar's reacting a little bit off this high. We have a little bit of liquidity above. We still have EU down here at the zone over here. So some of these markets, they might actually make these moves to the upside, but it's just not typically what we do and how we confirm our trades, right? We're not just going to get in off of highs or lows, but it looks like GCAD is moving up. Looks like EU is moving up. So if we do get that dollar to start coming down, we'll probably be all right on some of these trades. If any of you guys are trying to do something as risky as getting into some of these very, very low entries over here, you guys are going to have to do a very, 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 very small risk on that. You guys would not want to do a typical, whatever you do. You guys have to be very careful with these, okay? Because our flip models were violated. We still need the high to get broken over here. So if you're looking at GCAD, same thing with EU. We have the low broken. We would need the high broken. Anything trading down here, even if the market moves up, would still be considered risky. If you want to do a 1 minute while inside the zone, maybe you could do something like that. But a higher time frame, 15 minute, will probably look a little bit more something like this if we're going to truly get that move to the upside. Because if we do get the move to the upside, you don't have to worry about if you're getting in here or if you're getting in here. If this market's really going to move up, that's the main thing that we got to pay attention to. Just like when the market moves down. If the market is really going to move down, there's going to be an entry somewhere for you to get in. So if this market is really going to move up, there's going to be an opportunity for the entry to get in. We just don't want to be risky. Nobody wants to do that. I know every day we want to trade, we want to be in the market, but we have to be extremely cautious about how we are entering the trades, right? So don't judge yourself based on your winners. You guys got to judge yourself based on your losers. So GCAD, see what happens with that. EU, you have to see what happens with that. I don't think we looked at ECAD, but I'm just going to quickly go through this for those of you guys that are on Go Live. Let me see. So ECAD, ECAD holding that liquidity. Yeah, see how ECAD violating this this sell side liquidity low? That's the next low down here. So again, those euros, those CADs, they might even still come lower. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't do that ECAD unless that turns around. All the order flows very, very bearish, even on the lower time frame. GN from yesterday, this was really the best setup that we had over here on GN, and GN is still running. So this was definitely the best one. So this was the GN entry over here yesterday after that flip. We had about almost 100 pip move to the high, at least 80 pips there. We had GN come back down. Very, very nice. And we see GN, turning over here. Come on. We see GN turning over here, moving to the upside. So if GN gets that momentum and GCAD and EU keep moving up, that's going to be great. But if they move down, then we could probably see GBP NZD, maybe reversal for some of those highs, and then retrace intraday. Maybe something like that. If you're looking at these lows over here, again, nothing in like a really, really good zone that we want to trade. It seems like it's really just a scalping kind of market right now. AUD CAD, we still have this major low here at AUD CAD. Still want to see that ACAD come a little bit lower. Same thing like ECAD. Before those come higher, maybe the same thing will happen with GCAD. For these yens over here as well, all these yens are working these highs. We wanted to be able to get some hits off of these highs, but that's one of the first things that we said yesterday, that we had to be super careful because these zones were already, mitigated. They were already mitigated. So trading off of these highs, we needed to be extra precautious about trading off those highs. I really, 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 really wanted to see these yens, come lower, but unfortunately, we kind of just didn't get like what we wanted to see over here. Even if we're looking at, at UJ, whoops, pardon me. Even if we're looking at UJ, we didn't, if you were trying to get a little flip over here on UJ, you really didn't get much. You could have got these little hits like right over here, but there really wasn't much to go off of on UJ. It's a little 20 pip hit. So there really wasn't much going on in these areas to take those down. And then if we can just continue to look at the yens, we know that a lot of the yens, all right? So then you guys know here on Go Live, we know a lot of these yens, they've been accumulating at these lows, and it's been wanting, you see these order flows have been wanting to go a little bit higher, and we have a lot of yens with higher zones right over there. So these may want to continue to climb a little bit higher before we get better sell-offs, but I don't buy at highs. I don't do breakouts like that. I like to see those reversals over there, right? If we were going to trade up, we would want to see the market more so pulling back at the lows to go up to the highs, right? Not trade the breakout to the highs. That's not what I do. Let me just give you guys a quick recap. NU yesterday, I don't remember how or why we marked up this this chart on NU, but did anybody get into NU? I really do not remember what we did on NU. NU was looking good. I did something here with this MB. I remember it was on the session or off the session, but it was a really nice move to the downside. So if you held that, if you swung that, that's about 40 pips and change. And those are still moving down. Chef has these big accumulations to the upside. So that's what we was wondering, if that dollar keeps climbing higher, if that dollar really goes for that 107, like the Fed said they wanted the dollar to go to that 107 in 2023. Well, we're going to see if that really does happen, which is very high. Keep getting this to be bullish. They'll probably keep driving up that USD Chef to the upside. We clearly got, look at this, no consolidation, unmitigated liquidity right over here. Something like that is great, but that's a very big run to the upside over there. GU, EU, these are working these lows. So we have to see what happens, because again, those dollars come up, these pounds and euros, they might just keep falling down. So that's why we got to be very cautious at these lows, only kind of take those higher time frames. This was the GU move yesterday. If you guys got into that pullback, about 60 pips over there to the high. All right, there's a bunch of other pairs over here, but they're all pretty much similar with all the pounds and the euros. So just keep your eyes on that. We had this little G-odd, little mitigation to the downside, way too much sideways moving market, so we're not going to trade any of that. All righty, and I think it's G-odd, EA, very, very similar. Yens are very similar. I have to be very careful with all that. And let me see. Yeah, very, very similar. Right, very similar. We're not trading in that range right there. So we're not, yeah, we can't really do much. So just keep your eyes out on some of those pairs, some of the markups. I'm going to, maybe like by tomorrow, I'll probably delete a bunch of these markups or re-clean up these markups for you guys just a little bit. See what happens with that. SPX and U30 were really like some of the better moves to the downside. XPX we also would have missed because it was from the high at around 6 a.m. We didn't get that pullback. That kept dropping. US 30, same exact thing. I've seen some of you people snuck into the US 30 trade, which is great for you guys. I wanted to get everybody back in a little bit at that high since we missed that 6 a.m. hit on my time. And it was just such a beautiful drop off right back to this imbalance. And now we just kind of got to wait, right? Because at this point, I would be swinging U30 to the downside if it keeps coming down because of that order flow. So we'll see. So that's pretty much that with that. And then with gold, you know, gold, I mean, I don't even know what to say with gold. Gold, they just keep deappreciating the gold. It keeps on dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. It's literally nonstop with this gold that they're deappreciating. So, you know, I mean, really, I should have just really rolled this gold down. But, yeah, these gold are just violating. And we're running into, this is the problem, is that with gold, it's so easy for everybody to get into induced in gold because as gold starts working these lows, you see this one accumulation point over here. This one accumulation point with this break of structure kind of left you with 3 different type of POIs that you can trade off of. You know, so unless gold is giving us a higher time frame, flip to the upside, there's absolutely no reason to go in on gold, like just at all. You know, this is that 1980 from yesterday. We had that little, you know, 50-point hike over there after that V bottom, but that was still very difficult to get into. And now gold is just, again, still melting. So again, it's coming off that multi-year high, and you know, they might just want it to keep going. You know, we look at this on the daily, you know, this is just non-stop over there. Alrighty, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, guys, I wish we had a better week, but sometimes weeks get like this. Alrighty, but just again, follow your rules, guys. Follow the zones. You guys know how to trade Smartmonics. You know, hopefully next week we'll have a much better week in the market. Weeks are like this; they're happening, and you know, it's all about capital preservation. Sometimes it's not just about making money; it's about not losing your money. Have a good day at school, honey. Okay. So let's do the best that we can. All right. Me and the Market Watch team, we're just going to keep looking for some more setups. We're going to see what happens. Get in those chats, guys. Talk about it. See what you guys like the best. And then let's see what we can do. All righty. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the value, some of the conversation that we had today. Hopefully some of you guys got some clarity on some stuff that's been happening. All right. But overall, man, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And it, you know, if you would have had a profitable week if you took some of the trades, but overall, not a killer week for me. But love you guys, and I will see you guys in the chats, and I will see you guys next Thursday. All right, it'll be a great time to brush up on your strategy. Love you guys.